Alright, it's the number 109 probably of my accountability to myself. And I appreciate everyone's attention who watches this. Today I'm not gonna reflect about anything because it was already such a reflective day, put it in this way, and probably I'm going to go through everything I had and then probably mention about a couple of my thoughts if I have some. So the first thing, I woke up not really late but not really early at 7:25, and probably tomorrow I'm going to wake up at the same time, not really early because right now it's 11 p.m. and I'm supposed to go to sleep. And so in the morning, what I did, what I really liked, I spent 20 minutes reading a book. And it's really nice because reading this profoundly, I afterwards I go to take a shower and I can process this information. I can actually think about this, and it's interesting. I really liked to read in the morning, so probably tomorrow I'm going also to read in the morning. And actually, I wanted to read also in evening, but I couldn't because of some reasons that I'm gonna mention some later. Then I spent 1 hour 10 minutes in the morning to uh, finish with my internship that I was supposed to present at 1 p.m. Then I went to the gym, I returned. Again, I had about 20 minutes meeting. And then, oh yeah, I also forgot to mention that I didn't go to the gym right after doing my internship. I studied French for 30 minutes because it was a principle that I'm not going to go to the gym first. I'm supposed to study French. And today, actually, I would even study probably English or something, or I would study French more, but I couldn't indulge myself with that stuff because I was supposed to get home until 1 p.m. because I had that meeting. But at the same time, I didn't need to go to the store only. I didn't need to go to the gym only. I also needed to go to the store to do groceries. So I literally needed to leave my home, and it was 10:30. So in the morning, I spent 2 hours in total. 20 minutes to read the book, 1 hour 10 minutes for my internship, and 30 minutes for French. A great beginning of the day. And then I went to the gym. I had a not bad training. It could be better actually, but a not bad workout. Then I did my groceries and I returned home. Yeah, and I had my meeting, so everything went fun. Everything went well, not fun. And then I went to talk with my friend, and we were talking and solving Rubik's cubes like that. And so the thing is that I used to do this when I was younger, when I was like 13 years old. It's when I learned to how to solve those uh, Rubik's cubes. And right now I don't really have I don't really have time to do this, but sometimes with my friend we can spend some time to actually solve them, to compete with each other. And today it was a day when we decided to spend some time for this. So I had my breakfast, then we went to solve those cubes, and then we uh, one more friend joined us, and we were talking just about anything special. And after that happened one interesting moment because there's a friend of mine who has a decent level of English, and every time when I study, not every time, but pretty often when I study new words, and when we talk together, I ask him those words that I've studied recently or that I'm studying, and checking does he know those words or no. And it's just also like some kind of competition and some kind of gambling, like I'm going to say some kind of word and does he know this or no. And in this way I study words and he also studies words, and we spent at least 1 hour in this way. I was asking him different kind of words, and a couple of them that I still remember is outwit. It's like outplay, but in a smart way. Then I don't know, what could I say? I don't really remember the rest of the words, but I have intemperance, one of the interesting words, intemperance. Then I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Unquenchable desire. It's like insatiable desire, but a bit stronger. It's also a high level word. Also, there's comprise. It's like something consists of something. So, for example, I can say that my last subject comprises 7 modules. So like this, and we studied those words even more, of course, and it was fun. It was good because finally I spent some time studying English and enriching my vocabulary. The only thing that I want to do, by the way, is just to read everything that I studied in French today and everything that I studied in English, just to keep it in my memory. It's, I guess, one of great ways to actually memorize information better. I remember yesterday when I talked with the guy after gym, when I said to him that I spent a waste amount of time to prepare to exams. He gave me some tips how he studied, because in his case he told me that he was given like book like this, 1000 pages, and he needed to use additional sources to prepare only to one subject. It was so crazy. So he has his own methods to study that we shared with, and one of them is just when, for example, you have a chapter, you take some notes during the lesson, especially you take some notes, then you return home, you reread them, probably you take some more, you reread also chapters, and you take some more if needed, and then just every day you reread those notes, and obviously every next lesson you also take notes, and you are rereading this every day, and then it just sticks in your mind, and you can actually remember and understand it better. And so I think it's gonna work in the same way if I study French. There are some, words and some phrases that I wanna remember. I'm gonna reread them a couple of times per day, and they're gonna stick in my mind, and it's gonna work. And I guess the same way with English words. So I'm gonna actually exploit this idea. It's also one of the words that I've learned today. It's exploit. Yeah. All right. So yeah, and basically it's very interesting because since 3 p.m. until 9 p.m. I was talking with my friends. It was longest conversation over the past 6 months that I had with those friends. And actually, the thing is that I try them to explain, because they don't know about this channel that I record those videos. They don't actually know what I study, what I do, because I don't really like to share with that. And this time I was explaining all this stuff. I was explaining my position, my idea. And there's a friend of mine an interesting guy. I like to talk with him, but at the same time, he wastes his time completely. And he wasted his last 3 years. And it's so sad to actually observe this situation, and that's why I'm trying to give him some tips, some understanding that he needs to move today if he wants to achieve something in the future, because in the future he won't have that much time as he has today. So we had such a long conversation. I was explaining a lot of stuff. I recommended them a couple of videos, and I just don't want to drop my friends. I realized that I don't have a lot of actually close friends, because for me the word friend means a lot. I don't call anybody friend. I have a very few friends, real friends. And unfortunately most of them, they don't really care about their future, or they don't try to do something for their future. That's why our direction is different, and I don't want us to have the same goals. I want us to have the same direction. Otherwise, we're gonna just drift apart. And what can I do? I cannot just stay forever with the same people. If I move in one direction, they in another one. And actually, I was disappointed with another of my friends. I've been knowing him for a very long time, and when I tried to explain my idea, my philosophy, when I recommended some videos, he could say that engaging content is way better to watch. For example, TikTok is better to watch than people who achieve something, because he doesn't believe that they genuinely want to share with something. They just want to sell their courses, even if they don't sell anything. Because literally, the people who I sent to him, like, you can watch it, you can try to understand what they're talking about. Maybe it's gonna expand your perspective and you're gonna think otherwise. And he says, like, it's bullshit, mindset doesn't work, you just need to work more if you want to achieve something. And he doesn't work more, obviously. He plays Dota 2 and watches TikToks. Alright, and it was so hard because he doesn't try to find truth, he's trying to protect his opinion. And I cannot change this person. I cannot even give them a chance to change themselves by their own, because this type of people, they don't try to change. And it's so sad because I remember about 3 years ago I watched one guy who gave a couple of recommendations as to his younger version, and he told the first thing that he mentioned was that you need to be able to obliterate your opinion and look for truth. In order to find truth, you need to be willing to obliterate your opinion, because your opinion is not always correct, and most of the times it's wrong. There's not exactly one correct opinion, but there's always something better, something wider, something that you didn't comprehend yet, especially if you've been living in a position of literally a basic person who watches TikTok, who plays games, and who doesn't do anything extraordinary in this life. That's why you need to strive for looking for something. And if you reject those opportunities, saying that engaging content is better because at least I get pleasure and I don't believe they can help me, and he has this opinion because he watches TikTok, and in TikTok there are a lot of memes about this. It's so ridiculous, right? When your opinion is based on TikTok, for me it's so hard. If the person watches TikTok on a regular basis and watches all the garbage and knows all the trends, and he doesn't work in that stuff, so he doesn't have his output in TikTok, so he just consumes it. For me, it's a sign of not as the best person, because every actually smart person I talk with, they all always strive for more, and they don't actually waste their time watching TikTok endlessly. Probably it's okay if you find some time, if you use it to learn about your major, about your language that you want to study. Because if you open TikTok and you have, for example, French only, Spanish only, and you learn this language, so it's actually good, it's not really bad. But if you just spend hours per day watching different kind of garbage, this audience, I don't respect their opinion. Their opinion isn't material to me. It's something that I don't listen to. And I'm not actually hating, I'm just explaining that most of those people, their opinion is based on memes. And one of friend of mine has based his opinion also on those videos, and it's really sad because obviously it's garbage. When you consume everything, it's like you open your mouth and just someone force garbage in your mouse because you don't know what is the next video. You just swipe, you watch it, you consumed it. You swipe, you watch, you consume this, and you keep swiping. You don't check the content. The content check. You don't choose the content. Content chooses you, and it's terrible. It's actually, I don't know, but I'm just, the only thing I'm trying to explain that probably 6 months ago I wouldn't be able to believe that it's possible to abandon my friends. Today, I believe that it's possible sooner or later. If nothing's gonna change in their case, and if I'm gonna keep on my way, because the people you compare yourself to are going to play a huge role in what kind of goals are you going to hit. Because if you compare yourself to the people who doesn't strive for anything, you don't actually want to strive for something, because you compare them to yourself and you think that it's a great position just to play games, sometimes study, and move in this way. And yeah, because like you compare yourself to them basically. And so it's very important who are people next to you and who you compare yourself to, and, and who you compete with, therefore. And so I don't really want to keep next to me people who doesn't care about life. And actually in GTM nowadays we don't talk often. We can talk once per month, once per 2 months, sometimes once per 3 weeks, but it's so rare conversations, and normally it doesn't last for a long time. It's like 1-2 hours period. And as I mentioned today, it was the longest conversation, and I spent so much time, and I didn't execute my tasks. I sacrificed all of the things that I wanted to do today and that I haven't done yet, just trying to explain to my friends that it's not gonna work that way. If you're gonna play games, watch TikTok, waste your time, your goals won't come to you. Because if it worked in this way, everyone would achieve their goals. It's as simple as that. That if you want extraordinary goals, you need to do something extra. And you need to do something that ordinary people are gonna call extra. That's why success is so precious. That's why it's so respectful. Because it actually requires a lot of time. And most of the people just give up, and they are not willing to sacrifice some pleasure in order to get better. And actually I realized that there's no going back in my case. I will never be able to return. Like I used to be that person who plays games, who watches reels, whatever, some kind of short content, and who wastes most of his time. I used to be that person, and I don't want to return to that condition, because I realized that it's not a way to reach my potential in this life. I have greater goals that I want to achieve, and I need to do something to achieve them, because my output depends only on my input, and it's so crucial to realize. And the more you listen to people like Alex Hormozy, like Danielle Barada, like these kind of people, you understand yourself better, and you understand better what's required to reach your goals. Alright, that's all for today. I just wanted to mention about this because it's very important to keep right people next to you, and you're not obligated to be with the same people for the whole life. If you have different goals, if you have different perspectives, because whether they are gonna hold you back or whether you're gonna pull them up, and if they don't want to pull up, you're gonna get back. And so in that very moment you need to make a decision. Not necessarily abandon them, but spend as less as possible time. All right, tomorrow I will try to do my best, and today I need to go to sleep. I will have 2 weekends when I don't need to prepare to my exams, so I have some stuff to work with, and yes, I will try to do something interesting. Still, I have my internship though, so I'm not completely free, but I will try to dedicate myself to studying, to learning, to expanding my mind because it's something amazing. And actually, I don't think that I will have a moment in this life when I feel like it's enough. It's enough to study, it's enough to develop my mind. I'm gonna foster my mind for the whole life. I'm sure about that. Probably not as hard as today, like in 5 years, in 10 years. I don't know. We will see. I'm not gonna guess about that because the only thing that counts actually is today. What you do today, not tomorrow. Today, tomorrow doesn't exist. The only thing that exists is right now, and what you do right now is going to bring you some outcome. So don't stake your life on promises to do something tomorrow, to do something a couple of months. As today I heard from one of my friends that he has a plan what to do in a couple of months, but the thing is that I heard over the past 3 years that he has a plan what to do in a couple of months and he never did it. He never done this, so it's not gonna work that way. Just start now because you have control of yourself, over yourself. You have control over your thoughts, you have control over your actions, and you have control over your feelings. So you decide what to do, what to feel, how to act. With that being said, I wish everyone a great environment, the best people around them. Yeah, it's very important, I think. Without being said, see you next time.